Hello and welcome to another video from Minus Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today, well, we're looking at something that is now very old, is very collectible, and is incredibly hard to find, especially in this fantastic condition. We are looking at the 1981 release by ERTL from their series of die-cast 1/64 scale die-cast playsets. And this particular one we're looking at today is of the Dukes of Hazzard playset, which is all based on the 1970s and 80s television series, which was an action comedy series. It aired from 1979 through to 1985. There was a total of 7 seasons consisting of 147 episodes, and it was constantly among the top viewed television series in the late 70s and the early 80s. And at one point ranking second only to Dallas, which immediately followed the show on CBS Friday night schedules. Now the show is about 2 young male cousins, Bo and Luke Duke, and they live in a rural Georgia and are on probation for moonshine running. Now probation prevents the Duke's boys from owning guns, so they arm themselves with bow and arrows, which they cleverly make. And they outwit a corrupt sheriff and a greedy rich city slickers. They and their family cousin, Daisy Duke, and their uncle Jesse, they live on a small farm on the outskirts of town where they plan various escapades to expose and evade County Commissioner Boss Hogg and law officer Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane. And the Duke boys drive a customised 1969 Dodge Charger, which is nicknamed the General Lee. Which did become a symbol of the show. Now the show also inspired several movies. 4 films, I think, followed the end of the series. So there was the Dukes of Hazzard Reunion, the Dukes of Hazzard in Hollywood, the Dukes of Hazzard, and the Dukes of Hazzard The Beginning. And that's after that then they remade a movie in 2005, which again was based on the original television series. So 7 seasons, each episode running for 50 minutes, and 147 episodes produced. So it just goes to show you how popular that TV series was. And it spawned an awful lot of merchandise, mainly die-cast models of the General Lee. And they're still being produced today. New versions of the General Lee are being produced today by different manufacturers. Okay, so this particular set is the ERTL's play set, and it's based on the Dukes of Hazzard, as I said. And this is the box in front of us, and it says ERTL, the Dukes of Hazzard play set with 5 1/64 scale genuine die-cast metal vehicles. And you've got a giant 17-inch by 21-inch play surface for hours of play fun. Recommended for ages 3 and over. And it's got fiberboard buildings and play surface assembly required. And its TM indicates trademark of Warner Brothers Inc. 1981. Okay, that's the front of the box. Let's just spin the box around to the back and see what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I'll turn the box around to the back, and this is what it's got on the back. It says ERTL, the Dukes of Hazzard play set. And you can see 6 different playsets there in artwork form, black and white artwork form. It says collect these other ERTL playsets and build a complete town. Each playset is designed for use in a variety of combinations with other sets. Made in the USA by the ERTL company, Dyersville, Iowa, 52040 USA, subsidiary of Kiddie Inc. And it's part number 1816-6141, and it's printed in the USA. Okay, that is the back of the box. Let's just drop the box down to the front and see what it says on the side here, because there is some information on the side here. So again, you've got the ERTL logo on the right hand side, and you've got an image, a film strip image there from the Dukes of Hazzard, which shows the Bo, Luke and Daisy Duke, and Boss, Hogg and Roscoe. Dukes of Hazzard, and there's images of Bo and Luke, and it says recreate the adventures of the Dukes of Hazzard with your very own replica of Bo and Luke Duke's General Lee car, plus Daisy Duke's Jeep, Roscoe and his deputy's police cars. Now, from ERTL, you own die-cast metal replicas straight from the famous TV series Dukes of Hazzard. Go with Bo and Luke Duke as they chase through the hills of Hazzard County in the General Lee. Sturdy in their design, these die-cast metal miniatures are accurately scaled and carry authentic decals. And there you can see an image on the right-hand side of the General Lee jumping over a squad car. Let's turn the box around to the bottom. And what does it say on the bottom? Okay, so again, it's got the ERTL logo. It says playset, the Dukes of Hazzard, easily assembled Dukes of Hazzard playset, realistic base, courthouse, garage, farmhouse, bridge sign and trees. Okay, and if we just have a look at the end of the box, it says ERTL Dukes of Hazzard playset, and that's the same on both ends. I think, yes it is, same on both ends. Okay, what I think we're going to do now, let's open the box, let's take out the contents, let's set it all up, and let's have a look at it when it's all set up and ready to play. Okay, so I've opened the box up, I've removed the contents, I've put it all together, and this is the play mat that you've got. So this is your mat here, and then you've got your houses. So you've got the courthouse, you've got Boars Nest, Cooters Garage, you've got the Duke's house, you've got the bridge, and you've got the trees. There's 4 trees, you've got the Hazzard County sign there, and of course then you've got the models. So we've got the General Lee, we've got Boss Hoggs Cadillac, we've got Daisy Duke's Jeep, we've got Roscoe's patrol car, and we've got Cooters pickup. And you also get the instructions here, which tells you how to assemble everything. So it's basically showing you how to assemble the bridge on that page there. But if you open it up, it shows you how to assemble all the houses, put them together, and where they all go, how they all go together to you put onto your playset. Now I've set this playset up this way, but you can set it up any way you like. It's entirely up to you. It is a fairly large playset, so if I just measure from one end to the other, so we're looking at what did it say on the box? It says 21 inches, and that's exactly what it is. And it did say by 17, that's exactly what it is. So that's the size of the playsets. Now the cars, they're all 1/64 scale. So let's pick up the General Lee. You can see it's in pretty much pristine condition. I mean, these models were only ever used as a display piece. They were never actually sold, or only display models. So we're looking at 3.5 inches or 8.5 centimeters. Across, we're looking at about 3 centimeters, and depth-wise, about 2 centimeters. And they're all roughly the same size. Obviously, the Jeep's a little bit smaller because it's not as long. That comes in at about 2.5 inches or was that 6.5 centimeters. Again, we're looking at about 3 centimeters in depth from the top of the screen, and width-wise is about 2.5 centimeters. So the Cadillac, again, then that's a little bit longer. So that one is 3 inches in length or 8 centimeters. Width-wise, again, is 3 centimeters, but it's quite shallow, this one. So we're looking at maximum of 2 centimeters in height. So that gives you an idea of the size of the vehicles. So the 5 vehicles, oh, and there's Cooters there, Cooters pickup truck as well. Again there, and they've all got the ERTL markings on the back. And of course you've got Roscoe P. Coltrane's patrol car, again with all the markings on the bottom of the car. A lovely little play set. The great thing about this is you've got these fiberboard buildings. So as I say, you've got the courthouse, which is that main building there, which is where Boss Hogg resides. You've got Cooters Garage, which is where he does all his repair. The Boars Nest, which was the bar. And you've got the Duke's house at the back there with a porch. And as I say, you've got the bridge there for them to go across over the lake. So I've just set this up based on the picture on the front of the box. But you can set it up however you like and put the models wherever you want, however you want. It's entirely up to you. You've got the 4 trees there and the Hazzard County sign. So yeah, terrific set. Wonderful, wonderful condition. All these models, although obviously fiberboard, it does get weaker as it gets older, more use it has. But these are in very good condition. They still hold their shape very well. The tabs hold them all together, so you don't need any extra tape like you do on some of the ones that have got very old. They do hold themselves together. You can see the trees all stand up by themselves, and so does the sign. So really, really lovely playset this is. And obviously you can see the vehicles are all in absolutely pristine condition. Hardly any kind of marks on any of them, wear, dirt or anything. This, I say, this was a display piece used to display this set back in the 1980s, and it was in a glass cabinet for a while before it was opened up and returned to the box and retired to the stock room, and there it stayed until we went out and bought a load of stock from the shop where they closed down, and this was amongst the items left in the back that were all former display items. Sadly, because the way it was popped into a box, the box is a little bit squashed, but otherwise the rest of it is very, very good condition. The cars are almost in mint condition. I think you can just about see on Roscoes one, there's a little bit of actually, yeah, on that side there's a little bit of marks on the edge of the sticker, but nothing to worry about. Daisy Duke's one is beautiful, as is a General Lee. So I think it's only a little bit of marking on the sheriff badge. I've just knocked a tree over, but there we are. Okay, now you're going to say to me, that's a great set, Chris, but how well did it do back in 1981? Well, what you need to remember in 1981 is that Dukes of Hazzard was an incredibly popular television series. As I said earlier, it spanned 7 seasons, which is 147 episodes, and then 4 feature films. So to have that kind of popularity is humongous. For a show to run for that long is incredible back in the day. So very few series made it to 7 seasons back in the day, unless they were incredibly popular. And Dukes of Hazzard was. It was a nice comedy, fun program that came after the Saturday. Well, we had it on Saturday tea times over here, just after the Grandstand and Sport and all that, and Doctor Who, and then came the Dukes of Hazzard. So terrific television times. And bear in mind, back in 1981, right up to the mid-80s, there was videos were, you know, not the thing. I think mid-80s they started to become household things, but before that, certainly in the 70s, they weren't household appliances. So if you wanted to watch your own programs, you had to see them when they were broadcast, otherwise you'd missed them, and then you got to wait for reruns. There was no such things as internet, DVD players, video recorders, and streaming services. That didn't exist. So if you missed your favourite television programs, then you had to wait for them to be rerun, which might have been weeks, months, years even, before they were back on the screen. So it's quite important that you saw all of your favourite television programs as they were broadcast. And I appreciate 7 seasons, 147 episodes, a lot to watch. But yeah, we did manage to watch all our favourite programs on broadcast back in the day. So, and obviously, popular TV spawned lots of merchandise. ERTL produced quite a lot of models of certainly of the General Lee. There was loads and loads of different ones that were produced back in the day. And all through that time, from 81 right up to 2025, they're still producing the General Lee. That is the car that is a cult icon. So they're still making new versions of them today in various different sizes. But popular shows spawned merchandise, and it wasn't just these play sets. It wasn't just a lot of the merchandise spawned from the Dukes of Hazzard was die casts, but there was also action figures. There was Amigo Chips 6-inch figure line that was produced, plus there was the 3 3/4 or 4-inch figure line that was produced. There was board games, there was annuals, there was activity books, there was badges, there was postcards, there was collectible cards, many items. There was stickers, there was sew-on patches, all sorts of things of merchandise produced in a variety of different prices. So some stuff very cheap, some stuff very expensive. But yeah, all produced for a very, very popular show, as you would expect. Okay, let's move forward now to 2025. So we're moving forward 44 years. Do these appear on the platforms very often nowadays? And the answer to that is no. I did have a scout through the platforms, and I found two other of these. One which is being sold for ridiculous, being priced at ridiculous amount of money, but it is complete, just as this one is. And the other one, which is also quite expensive, really, but only has the cars and the playmat, doesn't have anything else to go with it. So yes, they do come up various different conditions. So if you are looking on a platform to buy, be careful, because somebody's idea of very good condition could be somebody else's idea of acceptable conditions. And of course, some of the platforms use stock images and stock descriptions, so you could be looking at one complete like this, and you could be about to order a used item which is missing lots of bits and pieces, and maybe the die casts are not in as good a condition. So if you are buying on one of those platforms and it doesn't say new, click the use link and read what you're about to order. Otherwise you could end up with something you don't want. Well, you will end up with something you don't want, because what those platforms do, if there's no new available, they automatically go to the cheapest used item, and that's probably not what you want. And again, not what you think you're ordering. And that's not the fault of the seller, it's not the fault of the buyer, it's just the way the platforms work on those particular items. Okay, so there we have it. So to summarise, no, these hardly ever come up on the platforms for sale, and if they do, they're terribly expensive or missing lots of items. However, we at Midas Touch have done it again. We managed to find this one complete set, and this complete set is available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Dukes of Hazzard items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories. Well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful Dukes of Hazzard ERTL playset with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.